Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Smudcast number 823. Perverts are ruining, capital ruining anime. And I'm assuming this is the storylines or the animes or the shonens that have the characters who are perverse in them. And I don't know exactly what that means. Are we talking about Mr. Roshi? Are we talking about just your typical 14-year-old male who gets the nosebleed? Is there a particular anime theme that is running through a series? Is it the ecchi genre? Like, there's many things we can talk about. I'm not sure what this gentleman's going to go through, but let's go over his video. It is a 15-minute long video from Rayshawn Gibson. I believe I pronounced that correctly, Rayshawn or Rayshawn. It's come out just 6 days ago. Sorry, it just came out 6 days ago, and is almost 30,000 views. So good for you, sir. For nearly 3,000 subs, you're doing very well, getting a 30,000 views on a video just 6 days ago. So good for you. Good stuff. So I don't know what to expect, but if it's all shown in anime, oh god, this is going to be very short.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing up Roshi, because this trope is as old as anime. So how is it ruined? How can something that was always part of it, is still part of it, and will always be part of it, be ruining it?
Yeah, there was.
That just means this is a tourist who has come across his first anime scenes with this trope.
Yeah, there's nothing inherently wrong with a character being aroused sexually by another character. We've seen that in Disney films. I see that. I remember the Sword in the Stone, or the Tale of King Arthur, with King Arthur's a boy, or is it Merlin? I can't remember one of the characters, and he gets transformed into a squirrel, and the female squirrel goes, "Oh wow, look at that guy," and it's one big flirty story for like 10 minutes, and then he turns into a boy, and then she breaks her heart breaks because she can't be with the squirrel she likes. But
with the that's more of a lovey-dovey version of the trope. The
Sure.
Japanese usually go for the bodily type.
It's the same.
Of the same.
It's the same vibe. It's the look at that. It doesn't matter if it's male to female or female to male. It makes no difference.
Oh yeah. But the difference is that the cartoons were usually about the flirty version, about the person, and anime is directly about, oh look, boobies.
It's more like the guy looking across the hall at the hot chicks and going, oh, as opposed to actually interacting with the hot chicks or the girls interacting with the hot guys. So I don't see how that's bad.
But even God names Johnny. What was his name? Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Even with Johnny Bravo, it's more distanced. It's more about the girl as a whole. While when he goes, "Yo mama,"
Yeah.
but the anime characters, it's always about the body parts.
Yeah, but
I think that is a noticeable difference in the detail. I think this is what these people take issue with.
That is the difference between your typical rom-com shonen romance story and an ecchi anime that is also a rom-com and maybe PG-17 or whatever, where she fell over and you caught her by the chest. Ooh, like that's pretty normal. I've seen that for decades, and I don't think the Japanese give a shit. I don't think the kids who watch it give a shit. I don't think the parents who watch it care. It's
because it's a natural thing that happens in real life as well.
Yeah, it's
maybe not to you.
The only thing that I'm concerned with is the overuse of the trope to denote that the males are aroused, and that's the nosebleed, the oh no, like, oh, I'm so scared. Like why are you freaking out when you're just happenstance to be in the way of this girl who crashed into you, or vice versa. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, be apologetic, but don't like freak out like this is the worst thing in the world. So I don't see what the big deal is. This is completely normal human behavior.
I think it's the Japanese version of where US cartoons do slapstick. the Japanese anime does this instead.
It's
the exaggerated reaction.
Anime is always going to be. That's the idea. Anime is supposed to be exaggerated. Comedy is supposed to be exaggerated, and the antics of high schoolers, which is designed as a comedy, is supposed to be exaggerated. So there's nothing wrong with there's this manga I'm reading. There's all these large-breasted high schoolers, but some of them are devils, some of them are angels, and they all have this one guy, and the guy's just a complete moron. It's all hijinks. It's all silly, funny things of men and women, or young men and women trying to get along. And this is normal. This is healthy. This is fun. And people watch it. People read it. And this is good stuff. So I want to know how these characters, I'm assuming they're characters. He's not talking about the creators. I'm assuming the characters in the stories are ruining the stories.
And the thing is, in anime, these characters usually have either redeeming qualities or get their comeuppance.
Pretty much, or they're just secondary or tertiary characters who do the thing in the scene, and they get smacked, and that's it. They get the smack.
That's a funny thing in Ranma, because Ranma himself, he doesn't care. Right. He can get flustered, but then it's truly emotional.
Ranma is the one guy.
The grandpa. He's the pervert.
Yeah. Ranma is the guy. I don't want to be a girl. He gets, oh no, I'm a girl. I got to deal with this crap, and he has to spend the day as a girl. Like, it's always, damn it, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. It's horrible.
Yeah, and the grandpa who's tiny at that point because he's old. He's super old. He's the panty thief.
Yeah. Anyway, 15 minutes. Here we go.
When I was in college, I decided to start a rewatch of Naruto with some of my friends. We were loving the Chunin exams only to get to where they introduced one of my favorite characters, Jiraiya. I'm sitting there looking at my friends like, now pay attention, this fella's funny. Except, something was a little bit different.
You have quite a tight, sexy little body.
Yeah, well, God, kind of fucking rapist is this guy? Like, take it easy,
Comment.
Okay, that might be a problem with the dub, not necessarily the original.
I don't remember that line from the sub.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time that I watched that.
Right. But
I think this would have stuck. Jiraiya is not after boys.
No. And he is big on writing romance novels, and he's has a crush on what's her face? The other chick he used to.
The old hag?
The old hag, yeah, I can't remember her name. But yeah, no, he loves her, and he's just doing this thing for inspiration to write his next novel. So
yeah, if there's a scene like this, he would just try to give Naruto some confidence boost.
Yeah, so this is not like his constant thing. Yeah, he's into girls, but it's always about to be inspired to write a novel, and to try and make what's her name laugh. Because that's all he wants to do, and make her smile. So he's not a one-dimensional pervert. There's reasons why he's like this.
Yeah, and it's the contrast to him being an old wise master,
right? Yeah.
Which is also something that they love to do. Master Roshi is like that. The grandpa in Ranma is like that.
Yeah. This is interesting because he teaches Naruto to be this guy to meditate very strongly. So imagine if you have extreme mental control, and yet you can't control your urges. I'm like, okay, something's not right here. This is not the exact thing. This is almost like an act he's putting on for the sake of experience, to be inspired to write a book or whatever. So you can't just forget how to meditate. You can't forget what you're doing and go back to being a pervert. It doesn't make too much sense. So
if anything, the pervert is the localizer.
Maybe, yeah.
That's the real pervert.
I don't know.
In actions that were lighthearted jokes when I was a teenager made me uncomfortable.
Why?
And then it happened again and again.
Insecure in your sexuality as you grow up in puberty. Wow, what a story that nobody's ever gone through that.
It sounds like you, as a kid, you had fun watching the show, and then you watched it later and went, wait a second, I'm sensitive to this weird sexual. It's like, why? What is? What is
this? Just the next level of seeing older people that are older than you kiss when you're still 8 or 9 or something.
Maybe.
It's like, ugh.
I don't know. This is weird. If you watch Naruto 10 years later, you're like, that's kind of silly. That's kind of goofy. But you don't go, oh my God, that's horrible. That's perverted. It's like,
well, he is going off of a very strange translation.
Yeah, that's true.
So we can give him that.
Stop watching the dubs, guys. It doesn't help you.
Yes, they're shit. Also, Nintendo of America translates like
and
shit.
it only got worse and worse. From comments about peeking on women without their consent to comments about looking at nude minors, my skin was crawling. My friends didn't want to watch the show with me anymore because it took this huge turn from a serious show with...
Have you seen the first episode?
I have.
Have you seen... I mean, seriously, have you seen the first episode where Naruto does a sexy no jutsu en masse? Are you sure you're talking about a serious show here? About Naruto being serious? And not a silly comedy with superpowers?
And let alone near the end of the series where he does it the other way around against Amaterasu herself, and it works.
That was funny. I remember that.
It does it. He does it to her. He does it to her, and it works.
Spoilers. Not that I intend to watch the rest of Naruto because I watched all of the fillers.
Yeah, the
all
hot,
of them.
The hot, sexy young boy attack or whatever she called it. I don't remember. The bloody nose will never go away. It's just always there. Okay.
To a show where one of the heroes is a sexual predator.
No, he's not. He's not
He's
a
man. There's a different. You know. Is he forcing himself onto any girl?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
You can.
He's not a sexual predator.
You can
and
buy.
He's just a man.
You can buy binoculars. You can hide in the bushes, and you could look at people. You're allowed to do that.
Well, that's a bit.
It's a bit creepy.
On the edge.
Yeah, but you can do that. You can go in public and buy some binoculars and spy on people.
I think some police might ask you questions.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, it depends on where.
They certainly will.
But yeah,
I think voyeurism is not allowed. So that would be predatory behavior.
Wait,
but
when you're talking about a ninja, that's like half their job. So it's kind of like okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, in this case, yeah.
This is different because they're ninjas.
Yeah.
Let alone this guy being a master ninja.
Oh, a sage. He's like above everyone. Yeah, he's
A sage. Yeah, exactly. So he is at that level where he can get away with it as long as he's not caught.
Yeah.
Generally speaking,
which is a great trope or a great character to put into that role of some guy who's so good at observing people, and he gets away with it, and he writes love novels about his inspiration.
Yeah, I'm just like I've heard it argued that he is at least a bit eccentric, and at least that makes more sense than what this guy's claiming him to be.
Yeah, he's not only hangs out with magical toads, and what is his summon? Is it magical toad as well? So he has all this sage jutsu powers, and so he's not just your typical ninja. He does his own thing. He's very different.
And Rayshawn, don't tell me that you have not mastered corner of the eye jutsu.
Yeah.
Okay.
And part of why he's with Naruto specifically is part of why he has Naruto under his wing is specifically because of the potential of the nine-tailed fox. Above everything else. They become good friends eventually, but it's mainly for that reason that they're together. At least at first.
Which is kind of weird because most of these, well, not most, but the high-ranking ninjas can do shadow techniques or whatever, changing your body shape or making a clone that looks like someone else. Jiraiya can get all the inspiration he wants, I think, from making his own shadow no jutsu women if he wanted to. Oh, okay, I can draw this or whatever. I can inspire.
Well, he's just looking for a more genuine angle out of it. That's part of the reason as well.
Yeah, it's kind of silly that he doesn't just do that, but that's part of the silliness of the show. So it's like, okay, what's up with this horny old man? It's kind of silly.
Are the Western prudes, the feminists, drawing women ugly on purpose so that nobody will, that there will be no pervert characters ever justified to leer after them? Because the way you stop that is by just being ugly.
Yeah, well.
Or in a giant bathrobe that hides your every female curve.
It's such a... he's in a few of the episodes, but it's not a huge issue. It's the same with Dragon Ball, with Roshi. He's in a few of the episodes, but it's not like a big issue. So...
very trope known as the lovable sex maniac.
Really?
It's a common theme in anime and manga. The very integral and character with backstory galore, but for some reason they enjoy peeping on girls or groping girls, and in a frightening...
What man does not?
Was that grape? What do you say? Groping girls?
Groping. But look, you're a man. This is in every man unless you're gay.
The common amount of
And
instances.
Ginga, what? Wait.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I had to refresh it.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, then it autoplays. So, if you're a man, you know that this is inherent to you, unless you are gay. Every man knows that he has to keep this under wraps. The same goes for women. Women who don't have their urges under wraps, they are very grabby and they stalk. Those exist. And they're very horrible when they do that. And it often doesn't count as sexual harassment when they do that, depending on the country you're in, or whichever authorities you're dealing with, even if your country is technically should be persecuting that. Good people keep this in check. Flawed people, they don't. That's the problem. And the thing is, in anime, as we said before, there's usually repercussions for them.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference.
He gets beaten up all the time. So.
Right. The feminist headband Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who was really about a whole person, not just about parts.
Yeah, he wanted to seduce and romantically wine and dine.
So it's like the whole thing with Pepe Le Pew is like, I still find it hilarious that he wasn't in Space Jam 2 because of that exact thing. And yet the movie also had whatever the guys were called from A Clockwork Orange, which were actually the thing that got Pepe Le Pew, blacklisted like that.
Yeah, there's no consistency. Well, the Heart Predators, they get a pass apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Doing the same to minors. This trope not only writes and frames women's primary purpose as being ditzy objects of sexual...
No. They just like looking at them. That's it. They're not saying...
They are pretty the way they are because evolution filtered for that.
Jiraiya's not going, oh, look at that big ditzy whatever chick. It's like, no, he's just going, whoa. He's just freaking out because they're gorgeous or he's attracted to them. He's not saying, what an object of my lust, or whatever.
Yeah, and Roshi would sometimes act on it, but he'd get called out every single time, though.
Yeah, and if you have ever been infatuated with a girl, you would know that, man, your brain is down the dumps. You're not thinking anymore. Yeah, reason is out. You don't see the girl for the person she is and all her flaws. You just see everything as amazing, including her flaws.
Yeah,
until your infatuation phase is over and your brain switches on again, which can be 2 weeks to 2 months. But before that switches off, you're not here, man.
It's kind of silly because every time we have this, perverse character in a comedy drama or a shonen anime, they get smacked, they get some guy to beat them up, or something happens to them as a result of their perversion being noticed. So it's really not that big a deal. It's even if they don't get away with it, nothing really happens in the narrative. They might steal some panties or something might happen.
I think the real reply here is simply grow the hell up. Because what Japanese stories show us are more aspects of life than Western media dares to show us.
That's a good point. Yeah, anime they're not holding themselves back. Unless it comes to the male protagonist and their sexuality, and I'm like, come on, please say something about what you feel. Like,
Well, we have to consider that the Japanese are also a much more passive people culture,
I know, but even in
that is to their detriment right now.
even in manga, like you have the inner monologue, and they say, "Oh wow, she's gorgeous" or whatever. It's like just say it. Just tell the girl, please. I don't care about the repercussions. Just do it. Get it off your chest.
Just do
But
it.
we can only do that after volume 15 of the manga.
Yeah, after the 100th episode of what's the one you and I both like, the rom-com of the girl who can't speak, Komi-san. You know, after 100 episodes, they're finally dating. You're like, what? Finally? Oh, jeez. It's really good now because they went home to her grandmother's up in the countryside, and it's basically, you know, she just wants to kiss him, and he's like, "What are you doing? Don't kiss me. Your grandmother's in there."
He's in the same building.
It's hilarious. You know, and he pretty much the guy has so much good understanding of psychology that he charms even the grandmother. Like he charms everyone, and even the grandmother's like, "Why aren't you making out with your girlfriend?" Like, she's gorgeous. Well, of course she's gorgeous. What's wrong with you? Anyway, Komi-san's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Men, but it also frames men as weird plot points that can't control their sexual urges.
They're not
All men?
They're not
all men?
They are not plot points. What are you? Do you even understand what a plot point is and how a man could be a plot point? Because I'm not even sure what that means. What does it mean to have a man as a plot point? What does that mean?
I mean, it would be the equivalent to fridging.
A plot.
Where the character solely exists as a side note for purpose of another character to do something.
That's like But
that's not what this is.
Yeah, a plot point is when we got to go defeat the Demon Queen or Demon King. We got to go through this forest, and the forest is the plot point. You have to get through one scene to get to the other scene. Not Master Roshi stole some panties. We got to go chase after Master Roshi and get the panty. Like that's not plot. I've never seen that plot. Maybe it is, but I've never seen it.
Well, Oolong wished for panties from Shenlong.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was the first wish fulfilled in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was even then that was still to snub the wish away from Pilaf.
That was
Yes, of course. But remind people that the first wish from Shenlong was girls' panties.
Okay.
The wish that saved the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for you, sir.
No, yeah, no. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, that's
World-saving panties.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, but the other point here is that he speaks in absolutes, where he is brushing all women and all men over one comb, and that's sexist, if anything. So he wants to be anti-sexist, but he is the most sexist here.
Yeah, it's
because he says, "Oh, Roshi is one specific character who is like that in Dragon Ball. Which other characters have this trait in Dragon Ball?"
The Elder Kai, I would say.
That's very late in Dragon Ball Z.
There's so many males in the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he is one, and then 1,000 episodes later, there's one more. Who is like this in Ranma besides the old, besides the grandpa?
I wouldn't say Shampoo just because she's so aggressive, but
Shampoo is just infatuated with Ranma.
Yes,
she's not in the sexual way obsessing over him. She tries to seduce him instead.
Yeah, she uses that energy in another way, but it's the same emotion. It's the same feeling. She's aroused. She wants to get into Ranma in his good graces in some way.
Yeah,
and Shampoo is not ruining Ranma. Yeah. Master Roshi is not ruining Dragon Ball. Like, this is silly. This is a silly thing to argue.
Yeah, this guy is taking one character and projecting that character onto all men, just as the feminists like to do, or as he also did about all women. That because Bulma is wearing the bunny costume here, or Jiraiya is looking at the girls, therefore all women only exist for all men. Like, dude, switch your brain on.
Yeah, it's
It's like all men says a man.
it's kind of
Are
weird.
you like that?
When you're in a relationship with a girl, and yes, it's all physical at the start, and then after that, oh wow, this is a person, and we go out, and you have zero sexual attraction because you're focusing on going out and having a good time and having a great, like there's a progression towards this relationship between people, and these kinds of ideas where guys just gush over girls or catcall or whatever. That's all they get. That's their relationship with that stimuli, and then it's gone. So they're always starting off, and that's it, and it goes nowhere. So yes, it's adolescence. It's this silly perpetual mentality, and that's it. Though it doesn't. These stories don't progress beyond that because that's the joke. It's just these old men with these childlike reactions to everything.
Here's a theory. So what the elements we have is. Anime has these characters once in a while that are a bit lecherous men, and we have male feminists, which he is talking like one right now, who copy paste the feminist propaganda that all men are evil predators, who then turn out to be predators themselves.
Well, as I said before,
and here's the thing. He wants these types of characters gone.
Yeah.
Perverts who get their comeuppance, who get punishment eventually, whether in comic relief fashion or in a greater way that leads to character growth, as is the case with the My Hero Academia character Mineta. So it would fit. If he was a predator, that he wanted in a narcissistic predator, which is usually the correlation, that he would want depictions of lecherous men gone so that people don't get the idea that a man could be like that, therefore that he could be like that, so that he could hide better.
Yeah,
that would be the truly malicious interpretation.
And this is
and as much as we've seen we've seen it with the male feminists, this could be as well just be that, because otherwise, why wouldn't you, if you already spout the feminist propaganda, why wouldn't you spout also all men are evil, toxic predators, so we should depict the toxic males so that we are warned of them.
Yeah, and he is just referring to shonen anime or shows for young men where this is probably going through the animators and the designers' minds of, well, if you see an attractive girl, obviously you're going to have some characters who are going to go, wow. And that's pretty much what they're thinking of their audience, which says nothing of all the other genres where we have women doing these things to men, where we have the entire realm of ecchi anime. I mean, that would freak him out if he's ever heard of like To Love Ru or any of these other, like it's like nudity and boobs every 2 settings. Like it's just constant. Would that freak him out and cause him to say, well, that's destroying anime? It's like, no, that's part of anime. It's the genre.
He's too innocent and sexually repressed.
It's like you can't attack PG-14 stuff because it has women in it and guys liking women and women liking the guys. That's part of growing up. It's part of life. And if you can't grasp that, then all your stories are going to be these, I don't know, these disgustingly boring stories. Oh, and then they found each other and fell in love and had kids in the end. You're like, what? No, that's what happened. There's a story in there. You have to show the stuff that's interesting. And it doesn't matter if it's perverse or not.
And Japanese media covering it to all degrees of intensity.
Pretty much, yeah.
Gives you a variety of let's say we call it dry swimming, of theoretical experience with this is how things could be. Some are good, some are bad, some are nice, some not so. Contrary to the Western media for children, where there's just either none of it, or, which for very small children is totally okay. Very small children also don't understand these jokes. Or we get the other extreme where we get drawn together and big mouth and all this really, really raunchy and in parts over the cliff, creepy stuff.
Even the raunchy stuff from anime. I don't know if you guys remember an old anime called Golden Boy, where he's this guy in every episode.
Golden Boy is a piece of art.
It is brilliant because every time he goes to a new place, he helps out the people, and there's a girl there he's trying to befriend or just a boss or something. And yes, there's some sexual elements. Some of the characters are over-sexualized. But when you get to the end and they respect him...
Who sexualizes them?
The animators.
They sexualize themselves.
Yeah.
Well, they sexualize themselves.
Exactly.
They're all... Especially in the first episode, the manager or CEO of that company...
Computer software.
It's like completely over the top.
Yeah, she's...
okay, but the way she looks, if she dresses like that,
yeah,
she's fine with it.
Yeah. And she gets off on her bike, and it's like, okay. I mean, and then he races her in the most ridiculous race you've ever seen, and he beats her, and you're like, okay, that's stupid, but that's the joke.
Wait, the motorcycle girl is another episode.
That's another episode? Oh, I'm sorry, okay. What I wanted to say is that even with that, at the end, even the flower girl, they're all like, oh, this guy really helped me out. I like him now. And it's this charming, warm feeling as opposed to, oh my God, he's so good. No, There's none of that. So whatever the joke is, it's always him doing something impossibly good for the company, for the person, then getting respect, and then him leaving saying, my job is done, like a superhero.
Yeah. And they always. So he wanted to get with the girl, but couldn't. She didn't regard him yet, put him down. But he keeps being a good person. Yeah. And once he's gone, he cut his losses and like, okay, but I did the good thing. I did the right thing. So let's go on my golden path.
Yeah.
And then the woman realizes, oh no, he was the one, and I let him go. Damn it! And the finale is wonderful because all the women come together to help him when he needs help. It's beautiful.
Beautiful story. Yeah, I love it. Okay,
absolutely beautiful.
And it's got all kinds of adult themes and context. And you're like, whoa, that's a little racy.
That's I can't imagine that even Golden Boy. It is not because of the times, because Japan still functions. But I cannot imagine that something like Golden Boy would be made again.
In Japan, yes, but not in the West. Yeah, it's brilliant. Anyway, let's keep going.
Sometimes this is intentional. Characters like Mineta are obviously not meant to be people you take seriously. They're meant to be funny. But
good.
What do they actually accomplish?
Wait. You just said they're meant to be funny. What are they supposed to accomplish? That's exactly what they're supposed to do, is be the joke. And then that's it. The scene's done. You can move on with the plot. That's it. We're good.
Yeah. Have you not known a Mineta in your life?
Or a Jiraiya? Like, what do you want? Like, do they want...
Jiraiya is acceptable because he keeps it toned down around other people mostly.
Yeah, but it's not a plot. It's just him. It's just that's what he does, and he's in a hot spring and he chills out and he looks at some girls, he gets inspired, he writes a novel, and then that's the story. That's it. There's no major war with another shinobi clan. It's like, that's fine.
Yeah, but Mineta is, and that's mainly because he's young, he doesn't have this shit under control. And that's the dangerous part, and that's where he gets really seriously creepy. Not funny old man creepy. And there are old men who are also actively creepy, who really don't know how disgusting they are. There's one old man at the who walks by the comic shop every day, and he just wants attention. He doesn't care what you are currently doing or talking about. He injects himself into the conversation, and then will make lecherous comments about women walking by, about what porn he watched. Like, completely insane. And he's dressed like some gigolo from the 60s. He's stuck in time. The man is probably half a decade away from his grave. But the only thing on his mind is sex. Such people exist. Thankfully, they are rare. And
Well, that's a bit
you need to.
patient when you
You
feel-
need to. This is the thing that anime teaches you. When there is such a character, you have to draw a hard line. And if that line is crossed again, there needs to be a wall that crashes down on that person. That's what anime teaches you. Do not let these people get off scot-free. You can give them a chance, but they tend to reoffend. And when they reoffend, you know that wasn't an accident.
All right.
They are just like that, and they won't stop being like that until they get repercussions.
All right. Let's focus on the fictional characters he's so
Yeah.
obsessed with here.
a little uncomfortable telling somebody you watch anime, which is weird, right? Anime has some of the most diverse and groundbreaking.
Wait. No. You don't get. Wait, stop. Are you telling me this is groundbreaking and diverse by showing me Griffith, who is an actual rapist of demonic nature, but you're freaking out over Jiraiya? Is this guy serious? Are we?
I wonder what point he's going to make,
I-
because right now he's talking about the wonderful diversity. So he might take offense to Griffith as well, if he's consistent.
He's just said this is groundbreaking, and I'm like, okay, this is actual demonic rape, but the Jiraiya, no, that's no good. You can't have Jiraiya. He's ruining Jiraiya, all these other perverts, all the ecchi anime. That's ruining anime, guys. Just come on. Where is your line, sir?
People in all of fiction. So why is it that up until recently, admitting that you were an anime fan was like saying you had the cheese touch? Well, a lot of that has to do with certain differences that make you cringe a bit. In fact, I would argue that one of these major things holds a lot of...
This has nothing to do with the story. What are you talking about? Because the culture of Japan is XYZ and the age of consent is this and yada. No, you're missing the point.
Look, and being prude and forbidding all depiction of sexuality certainly doesn't prevent rape, as Europe is learning quite a hard way with the large Muslim population here.
Oh god, yeah. Ah, this is a really stupid video. He jumped 2 hoops and he fell on his ass in each attempt, and I'm like, dude, you got to stop. This is wrong. Just because Japan.
Also, these claims about rape statistics and persecution resulting from that are questionable as hell. And going over that takes a little bit of preparation and not being tired. But there's a lot of argumentative trickery with these
look at
on
this.
how things are framed.
This article shows that impunity for sex offenders is extremely common in Japan, and it argues that patriarchal social and legal norms help explain this pattern. Gee, I wonder who wrote this article.
Mm-hmm. That's a paper.
You know, there's all these birth rates decreasing. Japan is really bad at that, so...
If you have 1,000 rapes, that would be a lot of children, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't want to say it's a good thing, but no, obviously not. It just, this is not the angular argument you should be taking when you say, well, the culture of Japan is different. It's like, no kidding, this is not going to help your argument.
Yeah, and one thing to take into account for this nonsense, because they try to play the same thing in the West, where they say only 2% of rape allegations get a rapist into prison. Yeah, because an allegation is not yet an actual case. And there are a lot of false allegations, as we have learned in the past years, that there are malicious women who love to make this up just to destroy the man or get revenge, or because they're spiteful, because they couldn't get the man, or because they're ashamed that they did have a one-night stand with the man. All of these weird things, or it's just plain sadism to see whether they can do it, whether they can get away with it. But what comes on top, what makes this questionable for Japan, is that Japan has an unbelievably high rate of conviction of alleged criminals, because they see the state and the judicial system as so much more important that there are innocent people in Japan who plead guilty just because they do not want to embarrass the judges or the court or the system, because it's in their head that it can't be wrong, even though I know I'm innocent, because then society would crumble. It's some weird mindfuck going on in that culture that they also need to sort out. But when you have that on the opposite side, this is supposed to exist. You need to explain that.
Yeah,
how this is supposed to make sense.
Even if there were like 10,000 rape cases in Japan, you really have to draw the connection between, well, the culture says this in the criminal world. How do you connect the dots to the creative manga, anime, whatever world? That's a huge media-powered thing. How do you connect the dots there? Which city has all the rapes that these artists are working in, and they're influenced by the news and the family members? And there's not to say there aren't some really, really scary, creepy adult stories out there in manga and anime that involve rape. Of course, there are. We have them. And he put one on the screen before. So it's not like these stories aren't there. But that's the great thing about anime, the fact they even do that. So it has nothing to do with the crime stats or what's happening in the culture of these people. It's that these people are allowed to express themselves, and the government has allowed them to do that. Like can you imagine us having an anime manga, not even a renaissance, just a birth of, you could tell any story you like. You could put rape in there, you could put mass murder, you could do all kinds of gory stuff. Only when we get to like the Sandman stuff, you get to see some gore, some horror, some adult themes. And in Japan, they were doing that for decades. They were telling you stories like crazy. So, no, they have the freedom, thankfully, to say whatever and do whatever they want in their cartoons and in their comic books. And it's great. It has nothing to do with the crime stats.
And there's also another. It's not a coin, it has too many sides. In which, I think infidelity is the word in English, where one part of a marriage has an affair with somebody else. Sometimes even with somebody else who's married. And one of those cases just delayed a movie coming out because the main voice actor turned out to have had a 10 to 15 years affair with another woman. Now you tell me how you can hide an affair for 10 to 15 years from your wife. I think that rather came out just to be convenient, to be noticed, because if it leads to a delay, because he loses his job over it, and he did lose his voice acting job over it. That's why we're currently watching the Mononoke series. And earlier this year, the movie was to come out, but they had to delay that for over half a year because that was the thing that came out about the main voice actor of the main character. So they recast him. So they have to do the whole thing again. So if that is such a horrible thing that it gets you cancelled, that you lose your whole job, your livelihood over it, then why would rape be okay? One of the things is rather that if things happen, they're not mentioned because Japan has a big thing about shame. And to reveal something like that is quite shameful. That is more of the problem. And one thing anime is an outlet for that repressed emotion.
You could argue that. I think this all comes down to the premise of his video, which that these fictional characters who are just gawking at women and finding them attractive is somehow ruining the story or ruining the whole genre or ruining the whole medium. That's a big mountain to climb. And you've really got to do your research. And this is not even scratching the surface of what you want to do. You don't attack the culture of Japan unless you want to say this is this is innate. This has been going on for thousands and thousands of years as Japan was created, and I don't know, warring.
Well, in general,
states.
his knowledge is of cultures and of his own psyche is extremely limited, and that's what leads to this really stupid position he has.
Yeah. Anyway, we got 2 minutes. We're already not. I'm ready to stop because as soon as he brought up Berserk, I'm like, oh boy. How can you be okay with Berserk, but Jiraiya? No.
I don't think he is.
He said it was groundbreaking. I was like, all right.
No. He didn't say Berserk is groundbreaking, but anime.
No, he said he showed me a freaking scene of.
Yeah, he showed you the panel from Berserk, but he was referencing to anime in general.
Oh,
That's why he brought up another picture on the screen.
Did he even watch Berserk? Is the next question? I guess.
I don't think he did.
Okay. Well, we're at 2 minutes.
And there's one important thing about all these characters. When they do that, and you hate such people, which would be very normal, wouldn't you hope that they get punched in the face or something?
Yeah.
And sometimes anime delivers on that.
And Berserk we've been waiting for Berserk to finish with Guts getting Griffith's comeuppance. So it's, yeah, we've been like, I want to see it. I want to see him beat the shit out of Griffith. It's just.
Yeah. We've been waiting for 30 years.
Yeah. Anyway, 2 minutes. Here we go.
People their enjoyment of anime with the world and stops even more people from giving them a chance. It's the Perverts.
How?
So this is going to be a bit of a deep dive on the ethics and general ickiness of.
Are you not capable of distinguishing between fiction and reality?
The ethics and ickiness of the anime characters. Oh, wow. That's going to be fun.
Uh-huh.
The guys like the girls. Wow. What are the ethics? They like the girls. That's about all they do.
Do you know the thing with the flowers and the bees?
Yeah. Why do they like I don't know. They're perverts. Okay.
Women have absolutely no sexual desire.
Oh yeah, they're pristine angels. They have no interest in men whatsoever.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if it was like that, it would evolutionarily justify the men being pushy, because otherwise the species would be gone.
Yeah. Good luck, those dating sites, lads. The standards for women are so high right now.
Why are women on dating sites?
Oh God!
If they don't have physical desire,
they do. It just they have other desires as well, and guys aren't going to hit them. There's no.
Oh, you mean the monster romance section at Barnes and Nobles?
If you could find a girl like that, that's a lot easier than what women want these days. So. Yeah.
It sounds a lot like they're actually into these lecherous guys.
Honestly, just go to the gym for 4 hours a day, nonstop, and go to the beach. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, but when you're at the gym, don't go there when the women are
there.
No.
Go to
you from training.
Yeah, no. Go to the beach where the women are. Don't go to the gym with the women. That's not a good idea. Okay.
Perverts in anime. What makes them tick, and why the anime industry still uses it. Shows like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sword Art Online, and Ranma 1/2, among others, lean into the belief that all men are perverts. You've seen
No, they don't.
What are you talking about? You think Ranma's a pervert? What?
We went over this. There's one pervert character per show.
Ranma doesn't want to be a girl. He hates this problem he's got.
If you seriously think, and Yoga is a great example. He's not a pervert. He's just obsessed with Akane.
Yeah.
He's in love. He's madly in love, and he gets lost all the fucking time. It's hilarious. But if you think all of these characters are perverts, then what the hell is going on in your head? So you are either, if you were asexual, you would not have any stakes in this. You would simply not care. But you do care a lot. You overcare.
Yeah.
Which means that you're ashamed by something. So and this is a very common thing in your teenage years, although you sound like you're a bit older than that. Being ashamed of your arousal is normal. Part of growing up is to not care about that anymore.
Yeah,
Grow up.
I suddenly remembered an anime or manga rather called I can't remember the Japanese name, but I think the translation was Heaven's Lost Property. And it's this guy who just loves women, and it ends up being all these women are angels around him, and they're super gorgeous, and they're all like fawning over him and all this jazz. And it's kind of like, I mean, who wouldn't be aroused by all these girls? Like it's like it would not make any sense. So we have flavors of male, not sexuality, but acceptance of women who are sexualized or gorgeous. And it's always up, if it's a rom-com, there's more going on in that show than just gorgeous women. But it has to be realized in the narrative, does this make sense? And that's what I have a problem with, because, again, the Japanese young male personality is always, women, go away, leave me alone, or I have no idea that women are interested in me. And in one instance, I can think of this year, maybe last year, an anime came out, but again, I read the manga years ago. It was the Cafe Terrace of Goddesses or Familia or something like that. And he's surrounded by women. Like, he's just got all these I think there's 4 or 5 of them. And they're all into him because he's the owner of the restaurant. It's also a place where they live. So they have all these backstories, why they live there, why they're still there, why they haven't moved out. And in both of those stories, well, I think most stories, even with the Yamagami one where it's about the 3 shrine maidens and they're wondering who he's going to marry, it's always, will they, won't they, who's the one he's going to choose, blah, blah, blah. Every popular rom-com is like that. And that's the conflict. As soon as that gets chosen, as soon as they give in, then the story's gone. So with that makes some sense as to why the male persona of avoiding women is logical. It's like, okay, yeah, you can't just do that, or else you reveal your feelings, and the story's over. Pretty much, that's the point. So when you have they call them harems, but they're not really. He doesn't accept their feelings. He just listens to the girls, and that's the backstory. That's the conflict of why they are there, what they want, their feelings, and they are running the gamut to garner his affections, not the other way around. So that's why guys like it. I don't know if girls like it. Maybe. I'm sure they do. They also like rom-coms. But for me, it's like, oh yeah, that's just a fantasy.
Tend to have their favorite girl.
Oh, everyone has their favorite. Exactly. Yeah, it's great. It's fun. And they're I wouldn't say they're ecchi, but they're perverse. Some of those girls are very aggressive. The entire episode is dedicated to the guy's penis, and they're having discussions about it. And I'm like, okay, this is wild.
Just like in real life.
Yeah.
Don't deny
it.
it.
Thinks with their South Pole, their Willy Dingle, their Schlobbledy Schlop. They do some cartoonish things to get a peek under a girl's skirt, or to cop a feel, or to get lucky, even down to their own character being thrown out of the window.
Have you seen village festivals? You know, in some parts in Germany we still have them. And you have the girls with their skirts, and they dance, and they twirl, and the skirt goes up, and all the boys, 10, 12 years, 14 years, they all lean over and try to peek below. That's the most common thing in the fucking world.
Maybe they've never been to Europe. I don't know. It's possible.
No, this is the problem of these really prude city folk. And they're turning, so these think they are the progressives when they act exactly the way that the Christian prudes did. Which, by the way, the American Christian prudes are very different from the Christians we had in Germany. Because, man, these Bavarians, their entire language is innuendo. They are Christians, but man, those villages are very active, if you know what I mean.
And important to note that sexual urges aren't inherently bad.
Okay.
To say they are would be a misunderstanding.
Right.
Sexual deviancy and sin isn't the usage of something inherently bad, but the misuse of
Sexual
something
deviancy
inherently good.
Yeah,
sin
when
is
this
an
line is
interesting word to use.
sexual deviancy and sin is not inherently bad. It's like, yes, it is. What are you talking about? If it's sinful, yes, that is inherently bad according to various religions. So
Yeah, and deviance, that is the point of sin.
yeah.
But so what do you mean with deviance?
Yeah, is it the
That is
guy?
especially there's a reason that's condemned.
Yeah, is it the guy in the corner of the class just ogling the girls all the time? Like, what are you talking about here?
I know, if it's a guy ogling the guys or a girl ogling the girls, that's totally fine.
Oh,
Because that doesn't lead to procreation, I suppose. So that's why it's fine, because we have too many people on the planet, don't you know? Captain Planet told me.
it's almost as if we're talking about something else. Oh dear, I bet he doesn't even know what he's getting to when he speaks like this. He's just like, oh well, perversion isn't bad inherently. It's like it's not.
That's what the word means. It's twisted. Twisted is bad.
When you have too much of one thing, that is a perversion, so it doesn't matter what it is. Anyway.
Line is crossed, it becomes perverted. The constant implication
That's not perversion, but I get what you're trying to say.
that all men have uncontrollable sexual desires in anime leads to the disgust that
Which anime? Which one are you talking about?
They're not uncontrollable. It's up to you whether you do control them.
Yeah, we're talking about...
It's like alcohol. Are you the master of the drug, or is the drug the master of you?
Yeah, there are some times when Roshi gets a little frisky there, but most of the perverts in anime, they don't do anything. Unless it's an adult anime, and that's the one of the scenarios where you have to fight off the attacker. So, no, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that involves, like, To Love Ru scenario where there's just boobs and women taking their clothes off all the time. It's like, okay, I don't think there's any particular scenes unless he's, like, under a love potion or under some kind of spell where he's groping girls directly. But no, there's nothing... actively, like, they're not acting upon their impulse, they're just looking.
Mangaka brings those relationships into a story. Now, perverts in popular media is a common trope worldwide. In Japan, they have their Jiraiyas, and in the West, we have our Quagmires. In both cases,
Those are very different characters.
We have our Quagmires, like, okay.
How many? Have you ever noticed that Quagmire is drawn like a ball sack?
I don't really pay attention, but I guess you're right. Anyway, I want to see where he goes with this.
sexual deviant is presented as someone to appreciate and laud at times, though there is an immediate and even major difference between the two. One is meant to point at the deviant as a vessel for jokes. That's where the line ends.
And you're saying Family Guy is not for jokes?
I think he means the other way around.
What? You're right.
Because the problem is he doesn't get it.
How?
And that's why he sees it. He's making this insane argument.
This is stupid. It's like if Jiraiya was an alcoholic, that's all it is. He likes drinking too much alcohol. It's like, oh, that's bad. Yeah, you're right. And what does he do? He passes out. That's it.
All of Jiraiya's scenes are funny.
He oogles the ladies.
The ones like this.
He gets a nosebleed. The ladies notice. They go and they run away. And it's like, that's it. What's the big deal?
But not in anime, the sexual gratification of our characters is also
The sexual gratification of our character. Which anime? What are you talking about?
meant to the sexual gratification of the viewer.
The sexual... What? Are we jacking off to Naruto? What are you talking about?
I'm lost.
What is he talking about? I'm sexually gratified by watching Jiraiya getting nosebleeds. What are you talking about? Are we watching hentai or are we watching Naruto? What are we doing? God.
This is known as fan service, though in both
I don't. So fan service is when I jerk. What? No. Let me rewind that.
That was too hacked off. I can't follow.
I can't follow it either.
as someone to appreciate and laud at times, though there is an immediate and even major difference between the two. One is meant to point at the deviant as a vessel for jokes. That's where the line ends. But more often than not in anime, the sexual gratification of our characters is also meant to translate to the sexual gratification of the viewer.
Really? Really?
What? No.
So when Naruto does the sexy no jutsu, we get sexually gratified? Really?
No, it's disturbing. But his weird censorship sound is horrible.
You can't say sex. He's apparently
If you are so prude, it's the only fitting word. Get at least another censorship sound, not this microphone destruction.
Anyway, guys, there's no correlation between sexual scenes and you getting your rocks off. There's no. It could happen if you really wanted to, but I doubt.
I find Quagmire a much more disturbing character.
Well, it's
also because the Family Guy humor doesn't land with me.
It's so not over the top at times with the jokes.
It's just disgusting.
It's just an adult show, and you're like, this is kind of stupid.
It is just disgusting, and there's rarely any relief, any counter
usually
for it.
relegated to grow pretty, I want. Family Guy doesn't seek to present itself as a deep story of self-discovery, but Naruto does. And moments of tension being immediately broken up by acts of...
Yeah, but not every episode's the same. And you can't say certain arcs or certain filler arcs are the same as certain comedic arcs or comedic episodes are standalone. That's most anime. Most anime is not just... always consistent. It's always, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's serious. So, no, that's not how you characterize Naruto, I would say.
Downplaying language of peeping only seek to make the super complex and mysterious Jiraiya into...
It's not a downplayed term. What? When were you born? Those are synonyms.
Yeah, that's weird.
Those are the same. These words are equally as old, you idiot.
Yeah, this is when I meant about the difference between surveillance and... surveillance is when you have the many observe the few, and surveillance is when the few observe the many. That's why I said buying binoculars and watching people or whatever is nothing inherently bad. And nowadays we use GoPros and dash cams and all kinds of stuff. So we can do it just as much as the government's allowed to do it, unless there's a certain jurisdiction of a real estate. Or...
Well, that's always context, but
yeah, of course.
When the government is allowed to watch you, but you're not allowed to watch the government, you are in tyranny, and you should do something.
Yeah, and that's why having not necessarily walking on the street with video recording all the time is a good idea, but the ability, if you know how to do that on your phone very quickly, that's always a good idea. Or on the phone, you can record your phone calls, that sort of thing. So, it's this is a story about ninjas. Half their job is just observing, watching, collecting data. So not a
Naruto.
There are some stories of the shadow groups doing their thing.
Yeah, but Naruto is more about open fighting.
Yeah,
if we're
probably.
Honest. But I can't. One of these words is English, and the other one is it looks French in origin.
Sure.
But they mean the same thing.
To a fun, diverse character, this trait doesn't add anything to him; it only takes away. And
no. If you take away his perversion or his thing that is part of him, then
is him being a man.
He's just a guy who happens to be a teacher for Naruto, and he's very strong and he's old. That's it.
You take away the perversion thing, but keep everything else about him. He'll tear you to shreds in a fight.
Yeah, if Roshi was just an old man with the turtle style of fighting, it's like, okay, that's cool. But
they literally did that in Dragon Ball Super in the last arc, where he was able to overcome that.
Oh, really?
And actually, it proved to be quite powerful if he actually set that aside and trained more. And he proved as much.
He used all his sexual energy for training. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He was one of the last. He was one of the last members of the team to be eliminated. Obviously, the last two being Goku and Vegeta, but I think he was pretty close. Roshi was pretty close.
Yeah, the thing is, this trait makes him more human,
right?
Instead of a cardboard cutout.
As I said, he could have alcoholism. He could have gambling. I think he does gamble, right? Yeah. He's got problems. That's good. Give your character some flaws. That's fine.
Not to say that they got rid of it of Roshi, it's just the fact that it's still part of him, it's just he was able to use it to his advantage in a fight for fucking once.
Cool.
Naruto isn't the only victim of this. Classic shows like Yu Yu Hakusho, Hajime no Ippo, and Soul Eater all fall victim to this trope. The chivalrous pervert trope is actually something that is scarily common in writers' rooms. I vividly remember a scene where
And here you showed us the repercussion as it should happen.
Yeah, this is good.
This is instruction. This is not. Look. She's not yelling. Oh no, I'm attacked. Oh no. No, she's actually fighting back.
Yeah, this is like arguing you can't have violence in anime, guys. It makes you it makes me uncomfortable. And then you show like the guy committing the violence, like getting captured by the police or getting blown away. It's like, yeah, that's what happens when you commit violence. It happens to you too. So you can't have that argument. We've gone over this. This doesn't cause you to be a villain or a murderous person. I say you need more violence. You need more sexual misconduct. You need more war in your stories so that you tell the lesson in case you missed it the first time.
Yeah, this whole idea of if we just ban all the sex and violence from media, then the children won't ever have these bad ideas. Because they certainly don't have them innately.
Yeah, the basic function of stories is to entertain and teach, and we have to teach. It doesn't have to be a theme lesson, like an overall arching plot that involves a theme. It could just be characters doing stupid things like this, going, yeah, you can't do that, bam, don't do that, good. And yeah, you learned that with Sailor Moon and like generic things like be nice to your brother and this and that, because they had the Sailor Says it, because we were so stupid we had to have the last 30 seconds of the show for whatever educational purpose from the board of, the North America had to say, Hanna-Barbera, you have to have an educational lesson at the end and spell it out to the kids. Like, okay.
I'm so glad most of those were cut off in Germany.
Yeah. Pretty stupid.
But here's an anecdote from when our very, very conservative Christian aunt visited. I was playing Secret of Evermore on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
And I was in the third act, going through the forest.
Really?
Wow. The maze forest, right?
Takes a while to get there, yeah.
I played through my games.
That game was brutal.
That game was so dark and dour. And it gave me the feeling as if Square didn't want to make it.
It was the first American version of Secret of Mana.
It was horrible.
It was a horribly done game. Yeah.
It had something to it, but it's also just off somehow.
The spear attack would do it for me. Yeah.
Oh God! The spear. Who had that idea to give you a spear and give you the shortest pixel range attack with it possible?
Yeah. It's hilarious.
At least you could throw it, but it would literally target the pixel of your shoe.
Yeah, imagine, guys don't know what we're talking about. Imagine you're holding a javelin at the top of the javelin, and instead of throwing the javelin, you keep holding on to it, and all you're doing is slamming it into the ground.
Right in front of you.
That's the spear
That's
attack.
your range.
It's the stupidest thing.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. But the issue, but they didn't even have a 2-player mode for the dog.
Yeah, I know.
That was dumb. But which defeats the entire point of control. Why would you control the dog? It's pointless. Unless you have the toaster dog. But I was playing. A conservative aunt sits down on the couch and watches for like half a minute as I was stabbing the armored hedgehog things with the sword, and she then complained, and I kid you not, she said it like this: "Oh, why do you have to play such violence-oriented games?"
Really?
Oh no, but I think it was shorter. It was like, that's the German diction translation. Well, that's very violence-oriented. So it's like this disdain about, there's violence even in the media at all. That's the problem. We had this for decades, since the 90s. This whole shtick of violent video games need to be banned, they need to be destroyed, and they call school shooters. We had school shooters in Germany. Video games were blamed for it, and nothing else. And it got to the point that our government, our federal government, went to sabotaging our games industry, which was pretty big, very focused on role-playing games like Gothic and strategy games like Settlers and other things.
Really?
You don't know the Settlers?
Oh, I know Settlers. I mean, that's not a violent game. What are you talking about?
No, not at all. Not at all. German games were absolutely amazing. But yeah, the thing is, that was the conservatives going against video games and their violence. And you can imagine that if it's Christian conservatives, they also don't like the sexy women. Now, it's the left doing the exact same thing. They want to get rid of the violence and the sex, but not like the Christians, because they fear, it might corrupt the children and make them violent and uncontrollable. The reason why the left wants you to not have violent media and sexy media is because they believe that if you don't see an idea from outside, they don't believe we have inherent ideas or inherent drives. They believe everything. We need to be taught everything. Who then did the first lesson? I don't know. Must have been somewhere in the ancient past, probably aliens. You need some explanation because they can't have God, because they claim they're atheists. So it must be aliens. But they believe we don't have inherent ideas. We cannot come up with violence or sexual interest on our own. So it needs to be taught to us. So the media showing us violence makes us violent. That's what they believe. And if they remove all the violent media, then we will, and we're never ever told or shown or experience of violence. Then we would never ever be violent, and therefore never ever rise up against their tyranny. That is, I kid you not, literally the belief of the left. That's how they think they can control later generations, by keeping all depictions of violence from them and tell them don't ever fight back. If there's violence, don't fight back. And that's how the bully wins, because they are bullies.
Okay.
The Christians, the Christians did it for a different reason.
All right, we're at 4 minutes, and this is he's on the same lines as the Christians, apparently, talking about how sexuality in anime is bad. So,
Jiraiya says that a transformed 12-year-old Naruto has
say
a
sin
tight
is good.
body, or when Master Roshi insists on seeing a 16-year-old Bulma's panties. The fixation on women's underwear and private parts make characters that have a lot to like about them have a glaring reason to feel uncomfortable when they're around, or more specifically, when a female character is around them. The justification being that they're one of the good guys, so we can ignore it. Now, don't think I'm some...
No, we don't ignore it.
because they're one
Just
of the
think,
main...
hey, that guy has issues.
Yeah, because they're one of the main characters. Like, oh, that's different. Okay, cool. Now we know. But that's normal. That's like any vice that you list from your character. Oh, he has a gambling problem. He has a drinking problem. Okay, cool. We get it.
normie bullying your favorite anime. In my last video, I literally talked about bad ships in comics, and something I said there rings true here.
Really?
Quality in art is subjective, but I have a bit of a...
Quality in art is subjective, period? No, quality in art is subjective and objective. How can it not? When you look at, I don't know, something you find attractive, and you go,
whether you like it or not is subjective.
Yeah,
but the moment we say quality, equality has to be objective. There has to be an objective element to it.
This is, I don't know if he's ever heard the term of aesthetics before, because when you say quality, that means a very specific term post-Hume in regards to understanding aesthetics. So if he has said that and doesn't understand what he's saying, which I bet he doesn't, You are bringing up a lot of history and argumentation on these kind of topics, like Persig and Fry and, well, you could say Descartes, but that's kind of, his own realm of understanding art. So,
he thinks peeping and voyeurism are different words.
Yeah, if I look at the Sistine Chapel and I like it, that's purely subjective. And if you look at it and you dislike it, that's purely subjective. It's like, really, there's nothing objective that you could say is good or bad about the Sistine Chapel?
There's no objective quality in its making.
I mean, my brain just like, wow, there's nothing. Like the lights hitting your eyes is not the same light hitting my, like, the sound from a certain trumpet, like.
It means there is no if all art is subjective, then there is no mastery.
There's no criteria, there's no schools, there's no history. I don't know how we shape metal or.
There's no technique.
Like, what are you talking about? Do you think every time someone makes a banana smoothie that they go, oh wow, this banana is delicious, and then one goes, oh, there's too much banana. Well, that's just your experience. That's just your sense of taste. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like,
you can make the banana smoothie without the banana. You just need to call it a banana smoothie.
Yes, well, there's no banana.
Because it's subjective whether you like the banana smoothie without the banana. It's not. There is no objectively bad banana smoothie because it's all subjective.
They don't think there's like ratios between taste and limits on the senses. How bright is too bright? How dark is too dark? How much salt? How much sugar? Like, no, really? There's no objective range? There's no bell curve? Anyway.
Bell curves are evil anyway.
Well, yeah, you're racist if you believe in bell curves. I mean, you put people into a bell curve. You're
sexist.
You're sexist, racist, speciesist, culturist, ageist, anything to do with humans. You're that thing.
I'm waiting until they get to cellist. Because you dare to distinguish between different types of cells.
All right, 4 minutes and a half. We are bringing up the quality term, and he has no idea what he's talking about.
Quirk media. If it makes me so uncomfortable that I have to pretend it doesn't exist to enjoy it, then it's bad writing.
Give me an example of something making you uncomfortable of stories made for kids. Like whatever was this Batman we just saw?
Yeah, that was Batman, but something that is allegedly made for kids and does make you uncomfortable because it is pedophile, predatory crap.
Yeah,
that would be Big Mouth.
The animated series did not deal with sexual themes at all. They completely avoided those compared to the comics.
Yeah.
So
I would also say if you, dude. Don't watch now and then, here and there.
Yeah. As good as that is, yeah, don't watch that. He'd be like, "Why is it so?" Yeah. That's
But Rayshawn, I hear you say, it's supposed to be for comic relief. Fan service sells, so why shouldn't they use it? Well, my point isn't that sex doesn't sell. What I am saying is that the prevalence of socially acceptable perverts.
Wait. So
socially acceptable perverts.
So sex doesn't.
You have issues, man.
So you're giving people what they want, which is sex, let's say, and we're talking not hentai. We're talking like sexual themes and depictions of, I don't know, sexuality. He's okay with that, and then he's saying, "Whoa, no," but perverts, guys, are a thing. You're like, yeah, so are murderers. So we can't have guns.
This is why. Guys like this want to cover up the women because they're ashamed of their own arousal.
Yeah, change the. You were talking about violence. Change the topic to violence. Now we're going to be taking out all the stories for young adults, like My Hero Academia. No violence. Can't have violence, guys. It makes me uncomfortable. Can't have people punching each other or trying to kill each other. No, can't do it.
And then somehow we wonder why no children know how to deal with violence and with their own aggression.
Yeah. This is, pick any vice, pick any negative emotion, and he's going to be like, "Oh, it makes me uncomfortable."
good shows be considered socially weird? And if we're going
Socially weird.
By whom?
Good shows. Okay.
By whom?
Here's Persona 4, the animation. These girls in the show, all of them cannot cook. That's weird because you'd think at least one would be able to cook. Maybe the detective chick, she knows how to
I
make.
think that's just a modern thing of a problem of women because they refuse to learn to cook or their mothers refuse to teach them.
Yeah, and plus we know it's for comedic relief. There's all. Oh God, we're not going to get into the whole gay thing with the Persona series. So it's like it's done for laughs in a slice of life sim game where you fight metaphorical manifestations of your mind in the midnight hour. It's like that's cool, or the midnight channel. That's cool, and the women being imperfect is great because they're adorable and they have these problems that you just can't do it. They can't boil water, for God's sakes. It's hilarious.
Them having these problems makes them adorable.
Because they have these personas like Chie, and she's like the tough best friend, and Yukiko, she's like the perfect.
And apparently those are real things.
Yeah.
Because I am in the background I have as background noise. I have Hell's Kitchen running now. That's such drivel.
Yes.
Unbearable drivel. But there's so many women who are cooks. They come into the show. They are cooks. They had this profession, and they completely suck at it.
Yeah.
They forget to turn on the stove. They fail to boil water. I think in season 3 there was this amazing line where this one woman said that where Ramsey asked her, why did you use cold water? And she said, I thought it boils faster than the warm water.
Oh, really?
No kid. Seriously. It's insane.
Okay,
it's
well,
completely insane.
That's kind of funny because in the story, the main character, or you, is a good cook. And there's this really funny scene in the anime, at least, that they sort of made up. It wasn't part of the as far as I remember, it wasn't part of the game, where it's this whole murder mystery thing of who's going to get killed. All this tomato sauce and everyone thinking it's blood. So, and plus all the girls are less, well, the whole premise with Persona 4 is you are the prince and you just come in and solve the problems and everyone loves you, especially the girls. So they're all just into you, which is hilarious because you just I want friends. Like you want to have a year of just getting to know everyone, having a great summer or a great year with your uncle and at school, and then you go back to Tokyo or wherever you have to go. And you just make these huge, amazing relationships with everyone. Everyone loves you. And they're, oh my God, you're going to go. Oh, we're going to miss you. And then you come back and they all remember you and you all have a good time. So it's this beautiful story. And there's the Midnight Channel shows all the perversions of all the girls. Like Rise wants to be a stripper, or, the dark side of her. She's already a model. Like all these feelings come out. And they're shy and they're scared. Like, that's not me. I did never want to do that. Da da da. Even though there's some truth to it, but it's like this minor, like twisted version that got demented. So this is a great example of why these kinds of stories, even in manga, like this is a manga, this is an anime, this is a game. There's offshoots of Persona 4 that are fantastic that tell these and use these themes. And yes, obviously, some people are going to be uncomfortable with the gay elements and the girls and the trans stuff, but that's like one of 80 stories in the game. So it's a great.
10 years ago, we always said if you're uncomfortable with that, that means there's some repressed thing about you.
That means there's.
Are you gay? Are
yeah.
you offended by the gay because you are gay?
Well, that's possible. There's definitely something that makes you uncomfortable. And if you haven't encountered that, you should probably think about it and why. Yeah. And so if you run into it in reality, I've never encountered that before. Now you have a background of what.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Since there are instances where this is true, this same instance is true about sexual predators, where they get uncomfortable for seeing sexual predators being depicted because they feel caught in that moment. And that's why they want the depiction gone. So the question is what's this? Rayshawn, do you feel called out?
Is there something wrong about looking at women that you find uncomfortable? Is there? It's kind of like, hey, I'm watching a show for kids, and my mom walks in, and you're embarrassed. It's like, what's the big deal? Like, what?
Are you 12?
Yeah, like, what's the problem here? I don't. It's strange. I have my niece and nephew walk in when I'm watching anime, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" It's all this thing from Japan you've never heard of, you'll never watch, because they watch the Disney Channel and they get Canadian broadcasting or whatever. They have no idea. I'm like trying to explain.
I hope you didn't watch any hentai.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah. They'd be like, "What the?"
That would be weird.
That would be really walking into me. No, it's just this. Like you watch what you enjoy. And if you're embarrassed by someone else knowing you do that, it's like you got to get new friends. Like there's something wrong going on. Anyway, let's keep going. Here's the Awesome Fox. Hey, dude, how's it going? If he's saying that art is subjective, then why is he trying to make objective arguments on anime? I don't think he's directly saying the word objective, but he's implying it with the title. He's saying that these are bad because sex is bad for whatever reason. Guys with emotions they can't control or get bloody noses are bad for some reason. I don't know. He's just
saying
characters
are bad.
It's just his interpretation, and he's not actively saying this studio or this genre or this anime. Just that he's embarrassed with his friends when they watch Naruto, and I'm like, why? It's a 20-year-old show. It's not like you're watching Bible Black hentai from God knows when, where the voice acting is just the funniest shit.
Look. Give it 5 to 10 years. Get back together with your friends.
Yeah.
Watch Agent Aika and take a shot every time there's panties on the screen.
That's a great comment. Sir, please go and watch Agent Aika with your friends and see how uncomfortable you get.
That desensitizes you so quickly.
You'll be like, oh, God.
And if you do the drinking game, you'll not make it alive through that night.
All right.
You'll have alcohol poisoning 10 minutes into the movie.
All right, we are at 5 minutes, 1/3 done. This is only going to get worse. There's no chance of it getting better.
Want to talk beef? Shouldn't it be funny? I have a confession to make. I don't laugh much at anime. I'm talking about bursting into major guffaw, not the little puff of air.
He doesn't laugh much at anime.
Man,
you have issues.
Watch something you find entertaining. Konosuba is not your thing. Watch children's anime. I don't know. There's got to be something for you.
What? You certainly can't watch Shin-chan.
Well, there's plenty of rom-coms out there that are hilarious. If he's in the shonen, there's got to be something for him. But
if he has no humor in him, there's a problem.
Yeah. I don't know.
Can you laugh about yourself, dude?
Like, give him the original.
You need to work on something.
Yeah. Give him the original Dragon Ball. See what he says.
Well, he did bring it up. He did bring up some scenes from it.
All right.
That comes sometimes, and funnily enough, every time I do laugh at anime, it's actually never been in any of the perverted scenes. A perfect example of this point is Mineta in My Hero Academia. You know what, guys? I've never interacted.
So you laugh at the scenes that are designed to make you laugh. Fascinating.
Also, you brought up Mineta earlier. So why you wait till now to say your other piece on him?
Yeah, it's obvious you don't like the thing you're criticizing. That's fair. So I never laugh at the thing I don't like. It's like, wow, what a revelation. That's great.
Not every joke, not every funny thing actually gets a laugh out of you. Some are just okay. They make you like smile or have a chuckle. And with the pervert joke, you have 2 points where that can happen. One is for the creepy shit the pervert does, if for some reason that strikes you, but that's usually made to make you uncomfortable. That's the point. The second one is when the pervert gets his comeuppance, and that can be funny due to the relief of tension. And because he gets what he deserves.
Yeah.
There can be an element of sadism in it, but it's a healthy one.
But
because it's more of what is it, vindication?
Yeah, but this is like me making a video on I dislike chocolate ice cream and then describing in the movie or the video, when I eat chocolate ice cream, I do not take any pleasure in it. It is not something I like. And you're like, yes, we know that. Of course. Why would you say I take no comedic pleasure from watching the thing I'm criticizing? It's like, no shit.
And look, it leads to more natural character interactions as well as social dynamics. With Minator, the case is that quite often he gets socially ostracized due to his behavior. That's a good thing. That also shows this is bad behavior. People react to it in that manner, and you shouldn't act like that because that's the bad guy in that moment. People are not in anime. Most characters are not universally good or universally bad. They're real characters with a mix of that, and that is what leads to these interesting interactions. If you only want these pure hero, pure villain, that's boring. Those are not humans.
With anyone from the My Hero fandom. I've just never met anyone who's into the show in real life, so I'm not afraid to say that I actually really like it so far. I'm only on what I think is season 2 or 3, and there are great moments to be had. None of them have Mineta in it. Mineta is this trope cranked to 11. I think it is telling to note that when the traits of pervert are what is pushed up to the forefront of your characters, the audience generally likes them less. I don't think anybody would complain that My Hero Academia would be less funny if you erased Mineta from the show. I also don't think anybody would complain if the cool chef Sanji from One Piece didn't get a nosebleed whenever he thought about a woman. Could you imagine being the editor having to write this sentence? In a bold new direction for One Piece, the live adaptation from Netflix dared to make a major change. The beloved cook of the Straw Hats is no longer outwardly a creep to women.
Polygon. Oh man, we have to westernize it. Take out the funny.
Characters like Meliodas have a fatal flaw in that the brunt of their comedy comes from them doing things that realistically would get them arrested. The fixation on boobs and grabbing boobs and seeing boobs, even above your own dreams, is inherently silly and stupid.
Wait. Even above your own dreams? What are you talking about?
What? Can I listen to that again? Because I think you just said something inhuman.
And doing things that realistically would get them arrested. The fixation on boobs and grabbing boobs and seeing boobs, even above your own dreams, is inherently silly and stupid and objective.
So wait, seeing boobs is silly? What? I can't look at them?
Okay, he's not human.
Are you... What?
This man is not... He's not a man.
What do you like about women, sir? Like, what... Okay, so imagine a woman doesn't have boobs. What do you look at? Her ass? Her eyes? What? Like, what?
Well, he is... So, we could go into the racist bit and say, okay, he's a black guy, so he's more likely to be into ass than boobs.
I don't know.
So, and there are ass people and there are boob people. That people favor over the other. That's more important to them. That's normal. And with black guys, it is that they are more often into the ass than they are into the boobs. That's okay. However, he's talking generally. So he's just using the boobs as the main example for his sentence. So he is rejecting the idea of sexual arousal at all.
Well, not even that. You can't
dream about the beauty of the other sex.
You can't look at them.
Well, I was going to say, while showing a clip of one of the females in My Hero Academia that shows her body just for that.
Well, mainly her ass, not her tits.
Yeah.
Which was my point.
Well, yeah, it's like, exactly. It's like that she shows it and doesn't give a damn.
All right, let's hear this one more time, because I really want to stop listening to this guy. He's just going into the realm of everything should be Puritan and nothing can ever have sexual. It's like, dude, why? What's wrong with it? It ruins it. How? It makes me uncomfortable. I don't care. No one cares about your opinion. It's not an argument. I just don't like it. Fine, don't watch it.
Doing things realistically would get them arrested. The fixation on boobs and grabbing boobs and seeing boobs, even above your own dreams, is inherently silly and stupid and objectively bad writing.
Okay, I'm done. Nope, we're done. You cannot use that sentence. Objectively bad writing. And then talk about you can't see breasts, you can't look at breasts, you can't grab breasts above your own dreams. Whatever the flying flip he's trying to get at you. I can't even think about it. I can't even fantasize about it. I can't enjoy it. Has he ever been with a woman?
I give him 3 years and he'll end up in a sex offender registry.
When you're with a woman, guess what they want you to do with them?
They want to be appreciated, and that happens by looking at them.
Looking, touching,
well,
caressing.
Not on the street.
Well, I'm not saying do this all the time, but you got to do it sometime. You got to appreciate. Like, this is bizarre.
The game starts subtle and with respect, with distance.
This is an anime. You're watching something. There's nothing offensive about this. It's a show for kids or young adults. It's not objectively bad writing to have a sexual character who's acting like, ooh, look at me, I'm cool. Yeah, that's great. That's fine. What's the problem?
Well, that's it for Jessica Rabbit.
Like, you can't have anything sexual? You can't have women at all? You want everyone wearing burqas?
Well, that's the goal of the left.
No dancing? No poses?
The liberation of the woman is under the burqa.
Can you imagine Faye Valentine just wearing a giant leather bulky outfit that just covers her entire body and you can't see her curves? It's just this big bulk. You're like,
I don't think they'd made it out of leather.
It's Gore-Tex. Pick a material. It doesn't matter. You just can't tell how thin she is or how curvy she is. Forget the makeup. Makeup is a sin. Yep. What is wrong with you? Get a girlfriend and then start talking to her and go, wow, women are beautiful and sexy and fun. And I wish I could show off my amazing girlfriend to the world and go, wow, look guys, look what I have.
Look, she's mine, not yours. Ha!
Like you get this sense.
You can only look. I can do more.
You get this sense of pride and accomplishment. Like, this is what I got. And then visual artists who have been depicting women's beauty for thousands of years go, oh, I could do that too. Look at me. I'm a really good drawer. And
oh God, you should never go to an arts museum.
The amount of porn in those half the stuff is just porn. Or attempts at porn, because you can't do too much racy. Anyway.
It's called erotica.
Oh, yeah, that's what they call it. Anyway, we're going to skip to the end because this is, I'm offended. Whenever we get a prude, and it doesn't matter how old you are, I've gotten pissed off at prudes who are PhDs in arts on Twitter, and I got really pissed off at them on Twitter. I don't care who you are. You cannot tell people about the nature of their own interests, especially when it comes to eating, sleeping, sex, all the basics. You cannot. You are automatically wrong. You're automatically offensive, and no one wants to be your friend.
He said it's okay to be sinful and sexually deviant, but it's not okay to look at women
and look at or think about or fantasize about them. Are you what do you want me to do? Like, stop thinking about sex? Okay, I could do that, but why would I want to?
This guy's ashamed at his own wiener.
But he's attacking anime. It's like it's just a genre of like shonen, frickin' Hero Academia. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's part of the genre.
Like, talk about hentai. Oh my god, adult pornography and animation does not belong there. It's like, fine, good.
Get the fuck out of here.
Attack that, but not frickin' shows for young adults, especially young men. Holy hell! What's next? They can show their ass, but they have to be like every other woman. They have to look like 200 pounds and 106 centimeters, or however short these women are. Come on.
Last 2 minutes of insanity?
Yeah, may as well.
We're back. Hey, that's 1 minute.
That's one.
Oh, come on.
It's probably just chilling.
Yeah.
It's also spongy again.
Yeah, again. All right, let me try again.
13:10, I think, is good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not there yet, though.
No,
Look at Sylvia.
let me try again. Oh, he's bringing up Fire Emblem. You
I was gonna say yes. We know you want to be done with the video spot, but at least the last 2 minutes.
I know.
Cool.
All right, I gotta get. Something's wrong with this video. It's not loading properly. Let me try
Taking
again.
a while every time it's fit. And breaks this up again.
There we go.
This is a déjà vu.
We're at 13:08, and we have the same frame as we paused on as before.
As from just before halfway through the video. I do.
Yeah.
There was nothing in between.
Yeah.
Maybe he isn't gay if he's showing this specific one more than once.
Well, to be gay, you only need to be into asses.
All right. 13:08. Here we go.
Damn it.
Bizarre to change a character's design this late into their lifespan, but I do think it's an interesting point to make, and we've become completely numb to this. I'm aware that women aren't shown in anime's target demographic, but it makes you think.
Wait. You just said the target graphic are not women. Therefore, it makes you think about what?
Demographic.
What?
The demographic. I'm just like, really? What?
If it's not for the demographic, it makes you think about the other demographics.
He's gay.
Does he want to target
He
women?
doesn't understand the attraction to women.
Do we want to
gay.
make My Hero Academia more appealing to women? If you do that, it's going to be a bunch of
It is
boys
already
love.
appealing to women.
Yeah.
Like hell. The women love it. Just like women love Naruto.
Oh God.
There's lots of shonen that women really, really
Yeah,
like.
that's true.
Well, girls.
Be more likely to openly watch these shows if there weren't a predator in most of them. Furthermore, if their bodies weren't viewed and treated as disposable meat sacks.
What are you talking about?
This is such disgusting feminist talk. It's really disgusting. The only people who call women these things like disposable meat sack, that's feminists.
Who the hell?
Nobody else. No, seriously, nobody talks like that.
Who? First off, no, I can't think of any person calling a woman meat, calling them then a meat sack. I don't know what that implies.
The preachers on memory TV sometimes do.
Okay, but that's, whatever. Disposable? What are you talking about? What are you implying, sir?
This is really inhuman talk,
And again, we're talking about a show for kids.
It must be projection. I cannot imagine any other thing than that.
Disposable anime cartoon characters in a show about superpowers in high school. What are you talking about?
No, girls want to look pretty. They want to look sexy. And you apparently didn't have a teenage girlfriend when you were a teenager.
Or a girlfriend now, for that matter.
Or ever.
Or maybe you hooked up with a feminist and you're just listening to her all day.
Who hates herself
in
because she's ugly.
In your sexless relationship where you never show affection for each other.
Or she isn't that ugly, but she's trying to condition you to never look at another woman in this manner.
That'd be hilarious.
How would I do? Some of these do. You know, Leigh Alexander back in the day.
Oh God, no! I don't.
She married Quinns from Shut Up and Sit Down.
Who's
the board game reviewer?
I don't know who that is.
Well, it's the I think biggest board game review podcast, and they do these annoying gay jokes all the time while reviewing board games.
Oh.
And they do good reviews, and then some games you only get reviewed there, sadly. Yeah. But he also went into and he got huge rings under his eyes after marrying her.
What?
Which seems to be the case with people who marry borderliners and narcissists.
Jeez.
But after they got together, he started not just promoting board games, which was amazing, but also ranting about video games and the sexist depictions of women and all of that shit. Because he just became a megaphone of her politics.
Yeah, that's sad. Okay.
Well, of course, he kept on doing the gay innuendo crap.
Okay.
Because and this is the pattern. don't look at women.
Okay.
Cool character bargain then. Despite all of this, perversion when written as a character flaw can definitely be used as an avenue for interesting story writing. Look at Sylvain.
So wait. You're saying that Jiraiya's perversion is not a character flaw? Are we talking about the same topic? What are you talking about now? I'm lost.
Well, we skipped some parts, but
Jiraiya, that's not a good thing. We know it's not a good thing. What is he talking? Jiraiya's perversion is a good thing. Like, what? It's not a character flaw, really?
No. It is a character flaw, but you have to write good about it.
What? What does that
Which
mean?
I don't know how the basic mechanics of that are there.
So if Jiraiya was like alcoholic and then he just stops drinking and that's good because there was an arc of him not drinking anymore or something?
I think guys like him want the entire character flaw resolved in the same minute it turns up.
Oh God, I don't know what this is about anymore.
I think that's it. He can't stand it going on for several episodes or seasons.
Yeah, and Sylvain is a flirt. He's not a pervert. What are you talking about, you weirdo?
From Fire Emblem Three Houses. His ladies' man person is actively a persona, a face he
It's
ladies' man and pervert are not the same thing.
He flirts with everyone. I wouldn't call it just a persona. It's like one of the major themes of the story is the nobility has to marry nobility. And Sylvain's one of the expressions of that, where he's hitting on like little girls and grandmothers. He's just hitting, and he was doing this when he was a kid because he wants to find the perfect partner for his family, and his family's going to go stronger as a result. So he's always hitting on girls. That's the thing with Sylvain.
He's Casanova.
He's basically a ladies' man. Exactly. He doesn't actually commit to anything. He's just trying to find the perfect woman. That is his flaw as well. But it's also if you take that away from him, he's just a noble. He's just like the other noble who's almost like him, only the opposite. He's not really the opposite. What's his name? The guy who died, actually, the voice actor who died played him. I don't know. He has that line where he always says his name before you choose him as a unit. I am Ian Vaughn something. It's just hilarious. He's so forthright with how he talks. I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me. Anyway,
I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you remember these tropes. They're very good. Anyway, let's see what he has to say about Sylvain, who does learn about, because again, you could romance pretty much everyone, not just you, but others hook up together as well. So Sylvain does find someone eventually in the epilogue.
handsome and doesn't have much aspirations, so he has to take what chances he gets, even if it means he's seen as the bad guy. He learns that
no. He genuinely wants a good family. So, no.
offer and becomes better because of it. Or even in Chainsaw Man, where Denji's life is made actively worse by his inability to say no to a pretty face, even when that person doesn't have any good intentions. All in all, I think
that is something very different.
Yeah.
That is, so if you find that as a good thing, I would think you are a sub who wants to be raped.
I'm still concerned what he tried to say about Sylvain and how that relates to a character flaw.
I don't think he can make sense of things that he sees.
Like, it's comparing the class pervert at the back of the class just oogling the girls to Sylvain who's actively dating girls or trying to date girls are two very different things, and they're not the same motivation. Especially when we know one of the themes of Three Houses is to prolong the noble house you're a part of. So I don't understand what he's trying to say there. Weird stuff, man.
the major perverts and fan service in anime and manga actively reduces the quality of the writing. It's an excuse to put bizarre things in good shows. Quick, I don't know how to write something funny. To play devil's advocate a bit, I think...
Quick, I don't know how to write something funny. What's wrong with having men who are aroused by women or vice versa and making a joke about that.
He's, when you demand this goes away, you also imply that women have no sexual power over men. You're taking away that power from women.
Does he want men to just not look at women and not pursue women? Or does he want, like,
he wants the species to die out.
He wants the most formal, like, hi, I am Sanji. I am a male. You are a attractive female. I would like to get to know you. I am a chef. Blah, blah, blah. Like, do you want, like, some ridiculous business transaction? Like, what?
Would you like to reproduce with me? We can mix gametes and make children. And then care for our children.
I have functioning.
Would you like that?
My reproductive organs are fully functional.
They are compatible with your reproductive organs. Where are your organs? Your waist seems very tiny.
There's nothing wrong with Sanji liking girls and going, whoa, girls, it's kind of goofy. And it gets old, but that's his thing. And then he goes to train to overcome that. He has to go through this, was it the realm of men? They're all like men in drag or something like that.
So this is a very good frame for the feminists out there who complain that women don't look like that. I want to turn your attention to the girl on the right. She has, according to feminists, she has an unrealistic body.
Ferdinand von Ayer, that was the guy's name. Ferdinand was the guy from Three Houses who was like the most noble guy. He was just nice constantly, and he was always butting heads with Sylvain because Sylvain was like pretty much his equivalent. Just Sylvain was actively pursuing getting a partner, and whereas Ferdinand would be like, I'm gonna charm a girl by baking her cookies, but he doesn't know how to bake, and he doesn't have any money, or he doesn't have any whatever. So he goes and learns to farm, and like cut the wheat and get to know everyone, and then go to the bakery and they train him how to bake. And like weeks later, he comes by to the girl, "Oh, I made you some cookies." He's like, "Well, yeah, you just bought them with your money." He's like, No, I did this, and that's like, "Yeah, well, then you just went to the no, I went there and I learned how to bake." And the girl's like, "What?" So he's actively learning skills just to make some cookies so this girl would appreciate the fact that he made cookies for her. Oh, boy. Yeah, anyway. Great little game there for Three Houses.
With a lot of party, the anime community for absorbing the media and continuing to do so, the authors for writing it in, and the producers and editors who request these scenes in to further encapsulate continue.
No. It's the writers, the mangaka themselves. You guys don't understand how manga's written. This is so silly. The mangaka does whatever the hell they want, and the producers go, "You're hired. We're going to put you in our zine, or we're going to put you in our publication." They do whatever the hell they want. They might ask them, "Hey, can you do a comedy? Can you do an action? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And they say no. Or they say yes. It's entirely up to the mangaka. That's it. It's not some guy up top saying you must do it this way. There might be some direction. There might be some assistance if they're veering off course, or if their idea isn't going to sell. They'll tell them, "Hey, it's not going to work with us," whatever. But no, there's so many mangakas. Kids grow up saying, "I'm going to be a mangaka as soon as I get out of high school," and they draw before that. So it's not unheard of. And sorry, sir, I don't think you understand how anime is made or manga is written.
Into a lifetime of sexual deviancy. I wasn't able to find any studies for it, but I have almost no doubt that there's probably a pretty close correlation between people who watch large amounts of anime and pornography addiction. But
Are you joking right now?
He's projecting hard right now. He's projecting, I tell you.
Do you think kids watching shonen anime watch a lot of porn? How would they even do that with all the...
How would he know?
Nowadays I don't know if you guys have seen all the various, well, depending on their parenting, of course, but yeah, all the kinds of blocks you could put for adult content on your browser, on your computer, on your TV. There's all kinds of security you can use. So maybe the less tech-savvy parents, maybe not. But I know my brother and his wife, they are very strict on everything. So, yeah. Dude, anime does not correlate to watching porn. Or hentai, for that matter.
Or turning you into that.
Yeah, this is so...
If you are that, you may look for specific anime that satisfies that itch. But the reason why I believe he's projecting here, and he is the Kuma, is that the shows he mainly presented to us were Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, Naruto, and what was the fourth one? One Piece. Those are all very long-running shows. And he's very young. So in order to watch all of these and more, I'd say he has to be the addict. And he's ashamed of his sexuality.
Yeah.
He is the porn addicted anime watcher, and
Possibly.
he's projecting here.
Yeah, in relation to the thing on the screen where the guy's saying, I'm a bit embarrassed, but 80% of professional doujin creators are making porn. Doujin is a form of fan fiction for artists. And what they do is they could take famous manga or anime and they make their own manga based off it. And the way you get noticed, believe it or not, is to do hentai. And the industry knows that because that's what sells. So,
well, you may not like it. You may not like this fact, but art always, most artists in the world, in history, finance themselves through porn. Hokusai did, which is the most famous Japanese artist who did the wave and the images about Mount Fuji. That whole painting series. And he basically invented tentacle porn. Because of a porn ban.
That's right.
The tentacle scene was to circumvent that ban, but still make money. And it wasn't to get rich, it was to get by.
Yeah, and that was their way around not depicting a penis on screen or in art.
The intercourse.
That too, yeah. So
because the way the law was phrased allowed this depiction.
So the great thing about doujin or hentai with other content that is as an IP is that's for the fans of that IP, and they go, wow, someone did a doujin of this really popular anime or manga. I wish we could do that. And someone did it. They pick it up. Wow, you did this. There's some, I haven't read them in a long, long time, but there's some really good artists that get their start doing doujin or doing hentai for whatever rom-com and having sometimes it's like, 4 or 5 episodes of their own ideas. And just the fact that they get the artwork like almost perfect is by itself amazing. And then there's like the artists who are really good and they copy the style and they add to it even more. So the publishers will see that and go, wow, forget the content. Just look at your style. Look at your artwork. You can work with this. We can hire you to do whatever you want. And that's how you get your foot in the door. It's like making a mod for a game or a level for Unreal or a mutator for Unreal or whatever you're doing and you're into gaming.
Yeah, what gets you started in the skill?
And it's like, oh, you made that? Let's see it. Let's see your level. Oh, great. You could walk around and do this. And oh, you did a total conversion? That's incredible. Let's see what game did you make? So you get your foot in the door by doing amateur stuff that professionals are like, well, we need those skills. We can teach you other things, but that's exactly what we want. So this is totally normal. And it happens to be professional because you made money selling it. And that's legal. There's actually been a debate of doujin being illegal or illegal in Japan, and sometimes some creators get fined or sued. But for the most part, you're allowed to do it, which is incredible. Can you imagine me just taking Batman and I'm gonna, do my own Batman comic? And be like, oh no. Couldn't do that these days, but at least in the West.
Well, you'd have to rename him like Bateman.
Bateman.
Oh no, that also exists.
That'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant.
and then make him Shonen Batman. Oh no, that also exists. Damn it.
Anyway.
Gets really tiny, narrow here.
Just conjecture on me. So the final question, with all of this being said,
All your
should
videos
they get rid
conjecture.
of this trope? No duh.
Should they get rid of this trope? No duh.
No, will they? I think he said will they.
Let me rewind that.
Part's just conjecture on me. So the final question, with all of this being said, should they get rid of this trope? No duh.
Should they? So yeah, he wants them.
He said should.
He wants them to get rid of it.
No, but he says should they get rid of it?
Yeah, and he wants.
And
them
he
to.
says no.
No,
So
duh.
what did you make the video
No,
for?
he said no duh, which means of course they should get rid of it. That's what he's trying to say.
No duh?
Yeah, no.
What?
When you say no duh, what you're saying to someone is of course.
I thought it would mean no, of course no, of course not.
No duh meaning you got to be stupid to think
Okay,
otherwise.
so that's some.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some stupid American slang bullshit that
Basically.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Your language is stupid.
And this is the sad thing with this guy. If he understood what tropes are, they're neither good nor bad for the most part, or 98% of them are. There's plenty of reasons to keep it in. There's plenty of reasons to have natural behavior. We're talking about sex, drinking, eating, pooping, sleeping, all the basics. If you take that out of the story of humanity, you can't have any stories about men not eating or drinking or sleeping because it makes you uncomfortable. Why? Or sex or anything that is natural to interacting with people.
He's too old to be sexually repressed.
It feels like a negative feminist sexual view of people. Yeah, it's not healthy.
This type of embarrassment is for your early to mid-teens.
Yeah, it's something
If you still have that in your 20s, you need You need to see a therapist and not a left-wing therapist.
All right, let's.
Good
go
luck
to
finding
news.
that.
I don't know where they are. Where did I put them?
I linked in the DM group the first one of the day.
Oh, you did.
And we go from there. Starting with Dark Seraph.
Where am I? What is this? Wesley. Master Roshi. What are you reading?
Where are you? I linked the first meme of the day in the DM group.
You only need to click
I'm on
on
the Smudcast
the
stream
link.
memes. Date.
Go to the DM group, and there's a blue little box that you can.
I linked it. I linked the first one already.
That's what I'm trying to explain.
Click that and you'll be on the first one.
All right, here we are. Okay, Columbus was an immigrant who brought diversity to America. Changed my mind. I just read today Columbus was actually Spanish, not Italian, and his ancestry is Jewish. So yeah.
But it's
I thought Italian Jewish.
I was gonna say this one is here because me and Seraph earlier, prior to this, had a conversation and he brought this up. It's like this is straight up what Columbus did, and it's like he and I agreed that this would be a pretty funny way to throw something at the leftists.
But Ginga, but this is by sane definitions of terms. The left-wing real definition of the term, well, not real, the leftist definition of the term diverse means no white people.
All right.
And I have said this in many company internal documents.
This is perfect. If you don't like fan service, then why did you watch a shonen anime, sir?
Yes. Yeah.
That's like saying I don't like swimsuit models, so why are you reading Sports Illustrated or anything?
And shoujo has plenty of it too.
The strongest,
just the other way around.
Diddler of today versus the strongest diddler of all time. What the?
You don't want to know?
I do not.
Do not know.
You don't.
I have the chat logs here. I was just here for some berries.
Oh no.
This is just for context. This is in relation to the big Pokemon leaks that just happened a little while ago.
Okay, I'll leave that alone for the Pokemon fans then. Replacing my parents' chandelier with a jumbotron. Wow. Let's see what happens.
Replacing my parents' chandelier with a jumbotron.
It was time to get rid of my parents' ugly-ass chandelier, and what better way to do it than upgrading it with a freaking jumbotron?
The lawsuit or the leaks?
I got
The leaks.
Oh boy.
Well, the lawsuit I think is a product of it, because when your quality goes downhill, then companies start doing this petty bullshit.
That thing was ugly anyway.
I've said since the leak happened that the leak is just basically their karma for the lawsuit.
Well, I wonder whether when this type of thinking got into the company.
It's just
because I don't think it was there from the beginning.
Yes, we eat in here. He said no more eating in the living room in front of the TV.
Yeah, it's like I put a tweet in your channel with a screenshot that basically is a basic rundown of that whole thing.
This is the best shit ever. This is your best one.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
The husband's like, this is the best thing in the world. The wife's like, I hate you. This is horrible. Yeah, guys, don't put a jumbotron in your living room or dining room. It's not a good idea. Oh, what is this? Cloney X. All right.
Johnny Bravo, yeah.
As some guy, I don't know.
I don't recognize the clothing now.
Yeah. Cool content, beta sprites, behind the scenes info, finding out Pokemon devs are gooners and furries.
More about the leaks. Yeah.
Oh, geez, guys, we got to skip this. This is too esoteric. Oh my God, I'm not.
Dr. Chrisman, please, with the streaming, stay on topic.
Yes. Kakashi. Blow up the moon? What? Is that what he said? I don't remember. Describes their sad past life, Naruto. Wouldn't that make you me? Every story of Naruto is a flashback. Why can they talk, but Akamaru can't? I don't know. When Sakura and Ino fought, fought, okay, how they felt, what we saw. What? What is... I don't know. We'll leave that alone. Why fight me? Hinata, don't say it, because you are a pain in the ass. Triggered. It was... What? What? I don't even know. What do we got? Same thing. Oh, no. Sakura versus Magikarp. Magikarp used Splash. Sakura used Naruto. Sasuke, help me. Not sure how this relates to the actual topic, but fair enough.
Well, at least it's something related.
Yeah. Those two don't go together. Neither do we, Eric. Goodbye. It's a boy. What's your name? Sask. Okay. Not Sasuke, but Sasuke?
Well, that's the proper pronunciation. The U is silent.
Master Roshi, what are you reading?
Oh, this is artwork. And what a fine piece of art this is.
Nice. Very good. That's a really good Roshi. Even the voice was great. What else we got? The best Master Roshi cosplay? No, we just saw it. That was it.
You Sans?
I think it is the same guy.
Same guy.
So, Master Roshi, what do we have to do in order for you to train us?
There! Get me more magazines and let me exploit you for child labor when you're like, 3 or 4 years old? Then bring me mentally disabled women I can hold captive on my isolated island. Look it up. It is lore.
I'll give him credit. He sounds great. I'll admit it. He sounds pretty close to the actor.
Yeah,
the dub actor.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. That reminds me of Golden Boy. There it is. It's Golden
Oh
Boy.
god. Oh, Kintaro, no. Not that one.
That was not the best. Those boobs are something else. Dirty magazines are dreams. Everyone looks for his ideal in their pages. What is that? Ta-da! An ogre patterned tube top.
Ooh.
I don't know what that's from.
Looks stupid.
He's gazing at my boobs while elegantly sipping tea. Oh,
that's how men do it.
That's what you should be doing.
Yes. For that you need Eye of the Corner no Jutsu.
Oh yeah, this is
Corner of the eye.
This is like such a cool scene.
What is this?
He's trying to swim. He just can't. He doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah. He's trying to impress the professional swimmer girl.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Right then he's like, "How's my swimming?"
Ginga, I can't believe you don't know Golden Boy.
Nope.
American fan service, an ugly non-binary transgender LGBTQ plus underage character, Japanese fan service, an attractive adult heterosexual female character.
Yeah.
There's Golden Boy. Oh, this is the scene I absolutely hate, but it's hilarious.
Oh, it's so great.
It's so stupid, but it's so amazing that you get.
How so? Explain.
The pedals doing the sparks on the asphalt.
He's at like a 10-degree angle at times, and the sparks are flying, and he's jumping between left and right so quickly.
Yeah.
And then he jumps in the air like 100 meters.
He's somehow not dying.
He's faster than a sports car or a bike or whatever, and you're like, what?
Well, it's downhill.
It's crazy.
Have you ever been on a bicycle downhill?
Yeah, I have once.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, it once was at night, and it blew my front light.
He's accelerating.
The dynamo was going too fast, and the light bulb exploded.
The fact he's accelerating or pedaling while going downhill is like, what are you doing?
He's accelerating more.
Go faster! Go faster!
More speed!
It's like
more speed!
Boys love kind of thing. Yaoi fangirls. You find them in every anime. Yeah, almost. Another trope that's kind of uncomfortable at times, but every right to do so. Brooklyn Rage, yeah. What do we got here?
You can hear the boing.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm curious where this is from.
Yeah, it's physics.
It's just physics. Blue's Clues. Perversion and sinful acts is not inherently bad. That's I don't know.
It's like, bruh.
I think his
unless when it's looking at women.
Yeah, I think his circuits got crossed there. I don't know. That's just an animated GIF, and thank you for it. Nobody tell this guy about the manga, The World of Moral Reversal, where women are openly perverted towards men. His brain would explode. Yeah, there's all kinds of those stories. It's not just one or two. There's like dozens.
That's just the West right now.
Oh, there's a classic Monster Musume with Sue and Papi. How did this get up there? Okay. This is why I like it. Oh, I missed one. You mean subtitles literally everyone?
That's subtitled by somebody who cares.
That's exactly that. There's a company or a group out there who's going, we got to do this right, guys. We can't screw this up. Bra was invented in 1914, women in 1913. Not 1913, that's Aphrodite. That's like ancient Greece. So
yeah, but the joke is that this is what women had to do before.
I still haven't finished reading the manga. I think the manga's still ongoing on that Record of Ragnarok.
It's so wonderful.
This is why I like anime, because trains. What is this from? I mean, that's a lot of elasticity.
That's painful.
That's too much. That's a bit. Yeah, that's too much physics. I would guess it's actually just balloons, like literal air balloons. Not going to read that. Day-to-day, reject boobs, embrace the penguin. What? Here's a good one. Bouncing anime boobs are so hot.
Hoot?
It says hoot. Hoot.
Hoot. No, that is clearly a hoot.
Yeah.
That's an owl sound.
And the girl on the bottom left is just having a good time. She's like, whoa!
Are you just posting boobs now?
Oh, Jesus. That's too much.
Grow up.
Yeah, that's
See, you are the perverts that he was complaining about.
Oh yeah. They don't seem to mind. This one is, I have no idea. I could not tell you. My boob knowledge is not helping. This one also, I don't know what this one is. This is I don't know. I was gonna say Ica, but I don't think it was a breast expansion scene in Ica.
No.
Ban anime for promoting sexual harassment. Okay. Let's promote an LGBT drag strip club for children. Yeah.
That's what they do.
Creepy as hell. It's bad when it's fictional and animated, but it's okay when it's in real life.
I still think they are insisting to reduce all the cup sizes because they want every character to look like little boys.
This is High School of the Dead, I believe. Yep. I remember that one. Had a lot of boob physics. Wishing you had bigger boobs. Ba-boom. Puberty. It happens. Wow, a lot of animated GIFs, guys. I know you love this stuff, but come on, let's get some actual memes here going, not GIFs.
I don't think our audience knows what memes are.
Yeah, they just show animated GIFs. Can you make it sound more like you have big boobs? What? Like, use the voice of someone with bigger boobs? What? What does that mean? Some girls, why do they always have to make this girls overly sexy? Anime is disgusting. Me, a lesbian weeb. Is it though? Anime, me, subtitles. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, geez, that's small. Animation studios in Japan. Animation studio, yeah, in the United States. Big difference.
Same energy. Difference.
Good meme, too tiny. More anime boob physics. Geez, you guys, I had no idea what these are from. I think I know the top right one. I think that's.
I'm concerned that you have a folder that is just GIFs of this.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of. I think that's Anime No Gal or something No Gal, where it's the one he hits on the gal chick and she says yes to being his girlfriend. Oh, I know that one. That is Pretty Honey?
Cutie Honey.
Cutie Honey, yeah.
The thing, the anime that started the magical girl genre.
Yeah, this is what the... I know this one. This is the one where the ninja girls are stealing... They can steal the volume of boobs from other defeated ninja girls, and it's all about people with the biggest boobs are like the head honchos of their organizations or whatever in ancient Japan. It's weird. I watched one episode. I was like, "Yep, that's enough." What do we got here? No one tell them about the workout elf anime. You get full uncovered boobs. Well, no, there's what's showcased in the evening at 8 o'clock is the censored version, and you get the 10 o'clock version where it's uncensored. And it's called Elf San no something, and it's about magical girls from another dimension or mythological girls from another dimension losing weight. And they're all cute. You could have cute girls who are overweight. It's normal. It's amazing. I support LGBT Lego girl with big boobs or big tits. LBGB. I like LBGB better. That's Where do you get that set? Didn't have that when I was a kid. Homer, my face is up here. I've made my choice.
I've made my choice.
Okay, another anime I don't know. Another one. I'm not gonna click on that, guys. It's just animated GIFs. This one I know. Zaki-chan. This is Musume classic. What's that? Yeah, I never watched High School D&D. It's too silly.
The one that goes with this is like, if he can't laugh at anime, then he's missing out on some good animes. Here's a list of a few.
One Piece.
Here's a list I made.
This just goes on. There's no memes here.
Yeah.
It's just
You're just showing anime now. I don't know what this one is.
Look, we have a channel for this stuff on the server. Okay.
It's some kind of magical cure.
You'll just get the stream nuked by YouTube. Bloody hell.
I forgot what I was sad about. Wow, good stuff. The magical power breast. Reset the clock. Don't know what that means. The perfect counter argument to his video. Ginga, what is this?
Yeah. There is a point, by the way, but it needs to be at least D cups, and that for men looking at D cups for over 10 minutes a day consecutively releases oxytocin and other hormones that improve your physical health, physical and mental health. So that's good. We're not talking about the jerking off part.
It symbolizes that she's my property and I own her. That's what happens when you sell your soul to a demon. Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
Yeah, boy.
I know the name of that manga that was turned into an anime a few years ago. And it's essentially he contracted a summon. It happened to be a summon that looked like a woman that was a demon from a magical book in the library that no one else could open, and he opened it. And she just wants to be loved. Medium is premium. Oppai is truth. Flat is justice.
Is it?
That's
Aqua is saggy.
That is interesting way of describing the ladies. Left, middle, or right? What is that? My brain is like, what anime is this? Oh, look at that. That's a funny little flash animation, I bet. Of Zelda.
Yeah.
Not Majora's Mask. What is it?
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess. Thank you.
I mean, no.
Again, another animated GIF. Very well done. No idea where it's from. Nothing to do with the channel.
I think I've seen this one before.
And I can't scroll down anymore for some reason. There we go.
Okay.
Wow, there's a lot. What is this? What? I have no idea.
I think a Fire Emblem character.
Is it? Okay.
From Awakening.
Perverts. There has to be one in every manga Rumiko Takahashi creates. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Cool. Uh-huh.
Why not? Hey there, son. What?
What
is this?
South Park
pointing at boobs on the wall? What the hell is this? The context is totally lost. I'm like, what? All right, here we go.
Lost and upset. This is the Kuma.
2 seconds.
Here we go.
You have a single fact to back that up.
Oh. Horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hentai in a nutshell. Here we go. This better not get
12 minutes. Watch it later. It's 12 minutes.
Oh, God. How about
later?
I'm not going to watch. Guys, these are too long. Toriyama, living the life. Rest in peace. This is me in paradise. Cola cigarette. Nori Senbei crackers. Okay. Dirty magazine and a model car. Oh, I see. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Is that Toriyama? Okay, maybe. I don't know.
It's Toribot, yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it. Very funny. Danny DeVito for no reason. This isn't an anime, but this is a good example of what happens when a character is being perverted and they get punished for it due to consequences. There we go. Thank you. Being on topic. Zigzag. Wait a minute here. Just relax. But come on, I calm down a bit. And I promise you'll love this. Oh my God, are you okay? I guess I came on a little too strong, huh? You guess? Okay. Something happened. Trying to see the flow of events. The girl with the glasses hit someone. Okay. Fair enough. We post memes here, sir, not what pics I come to.
We post memes here, sir.
Yeah.
Better late than never.
All right. That was thankfully horrible because I didn't want to watch the rest of that. And I can't remember the last sentence he said that made me say, nope, no more. But, yeah. Whew. That was bad. That was some feminist, really bad crap. Anti-sex, anti-human, young male. Like, guys, if you're making something for young adults who are male, you got to have some sexuality in there. And you got to be able to make fun of yourself or make fun of the sexuality. That's totally natural. It's part of comedy. And most of those stories are very wholesome. I think he pointed to more all the action adventure shonens. But that's pretty much part and parcel of all the rom-coms. You got to have those sexual tense scenes where two bodies collide and they touch each other. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. Oh, you're a pervert. Blah blah blah. Even though the girl's
you have to show how it's done right, and sometimes that entails to show how it's done wrong as well.
Yeah. And that's why you have multiple girls with different personalities who are also into the main character, and they're like, "Nope, I'm okay with this." And they're like, "What?" she's totally honest and truthful with her feelings. They have that in every rom-com. They have to have the contrast of the normal girl you expect, the normal guy you expect, and then the outgoing girl that's just pure emotion and just honest with everything. Then you have the cool girl or the smart, sophisticated girl who's going to use her brain to get the guy. Then you have the jock, you have the tomboy, you got all these tropes, and you have fun expressing them and their sexuality. This guy would lose his shit if he watched even one rom-com from the past 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
In anime, and it's not controversial. It's not overtly sexual. I'm trying to remember the one with the harem. One of the first harems was the one with the inn. And there's all these girls, and he's just trying to get by. And he likes this one girl, but there's all these other ones. They're all very weird. And they all
he couldn't even watch Blade Runner because there's a naked tit in there.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. I'm trying to think. But it's
older movies were much more down to earth with these things.
Mature, down to earth. This is such a simple thing, and he thinks that America has to be Puritan because of feminism, or I don't know what. And
well, everything. If you repress sexuality, that eventually leads to a lower birth rate. You just need to do it for long enough and fuck up entire generations.
Yeah. Oh god.
And next time, if everyone just posts boobs instead of memes, you get the Kuma dungeon.
Yeah. Let's stick on.
We don't have one.
Didn't we have one channel for all this crap?
Timeouts or something? I don't know. Who knows? Leave that to the moderators. Thanks, guys. That was 2 hours and a half of a feminist who doesn't understand sexuality or the target demographic for young men and what they want. Nothing wrong with sexuality, guys. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Be nice about it. Be mature about it.
It just needs its place.
Exactly. Again, if this guy knew anything about rom-coms or ecchi anime or hentai, he would lose his mind. So,
yeah.
Thank you so much for the suggestion. Good Anime Monday. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, in Canada. We have a day off today and just had a wonderful dinner with the family. And I know it's later for the Americans next month, but we celebrate a bit earlier because we're weird. And we like to get our cooking before it snows, so we don't have to fish around for it in the ice. Anyway, have a great evening. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.